Hello Year 3, this is Miss Rebello for your Summer Catch-Up English. Today we are going to start with our setting description. To be successful today, we are going to be using our key vocabulary, two-way sentences, and check and edit our sentences. But first, let's revise our key vocabulary. Let's start with this. My turn, awakened. Your turn. My turn, emerged. Your turn. My turn, terracotta. Your turn. My turn, delighted. Your turn. My turn, contentment. Your turn. My turn, terror. Your turn. My turn, pounded. Your turn. And my turn, poured. Your turn. Now I'd like you to think of a word. Which one of these words means great fear? If you have a look at these faces, that's going to be an easy one to spot. Terror means great fear. Well done. Now which one of these words mean to become visible? To come out? The pictures again, the widgets are really helpful here. Emerged means to come out. So you emerge from the house, you become visible. And which one of these words means more than happy? Ecstatic. Well done. Pictures are very good here. Delighted is your word. Let's quickly revise all the meanings and some synonyms that you may take to use in your to-dos. Awaken. Whisper the word. Awaken means to stop sleeping, and other words you may use for awaken are rise or awake. Emerged. Shout the word. Emerge means to come out and become visible. In a sentence it may look like this. The bicycle emerged on the dusty roads. Other words you can use for that are come out, appear, materialize. A shiny black bicycle materialized at the end of the road. Just showed up. Terracotta. Whisper the word. Now remember, terracotta is a type of clay that we use to build houses, and it gives a nice finishing touch to it. So we're going to use this word to describe the houses in the village. So other words are clay and brown. Next, delighted. Shout the word. This is the feeling of great pleasure, so it's more than happy. Other words for delighted are ecstatic, joyful, thrilled, overjoyed. Make sure you take notes of these words so you can use on your to-do. Next, contentment. Whisper the word. This is that state of happiness and satisfaction. So in here you can think of words like happiness. It's more mild, fulfillment, satisfaction. Next, terror. Say terror in a terrifying voice. That means extreme fear, not just fear, but extreme fear. Other words for terror could be dread, fright, or horror. Pounded. Whisper the word. Pounded means to hit heavily and repeatedly, just like a heart pounding. So you can feel the beat. It's a punch, it's a hit. In a sentence, it would look like this. His heart pounding inside of his chest. He could feel his heart pounding inside of his chest. Next word, poured. Shout the word. Pouring out is when there is a flow of water or liquid coming out. So you can pour your eyes out. Tears poured out from his eyes. Other words for pouring could be stream, flow, and cascade. Right, now let's have a look at the sentence types that we're practicing today. Two-way sentences are very good sentences because they help create a strong image in the reader's mind. That's the thing. Ta-da, that's why we're using it, okay? So in two-way sentences, what do we have? We need to have two adjectives before a noun. Now, an adjective, our describing word over here. You have glamorous and intelligent describing this noun, the princess. just right in here you have grotesque and warty, 2 adjectives describing this noun, frog. Now we do separate these 2 adjectives with a comma. And we need to make sure that we carry on doing this consistently. Alright, so let's have a look at these sentences and let's try and create better sentences by making them into 2-way sentences. These are sentences that we had yesterday, but today I want you to give more ideas about how we can make them good 2-way sentences. So we need to find 2 adjectives, suitable adjectives to describe the morning. I want to paint a clear picture in my reader's head about what type of morning this will be. So, it's just a morning so far, but I want it to be a nice, fresh morning. Did you see what happened there? Now, if I'm reading this, I know that this is not winter, it's not cold, it's not dark, it's not dull. It's a nice fresh morning. So I know that the feeling around this morning is different from, for example, when you wake up in a winter's morning, when it's very dark, or maybe it's very rainy. It's none of that. It's a nice, fresh morning. What else can you create for a morning? How else can you describe a morning? Make a list of ideas in your notebook. Let's create other ideas over here. So, for example, the door flung open. Yeah, flung, it's the past of fling. It's just abrupt. It was open really, really harshly. So I want to describe this door. Okay, so far it could be any door. The door is really not important here, but I want it to make important. I want it to be very vivid in my reader's mind. I want to read the book and know exactly what type of door you're talking about. What is it made of? How does it feel like? Is it heavy, light? Is it strong? Or is it just a portal? What type of door is it? Remember, we're going to add 2 adjectives before your noun. The noun is door. I want to add 2 adjectives over here. We could have the heavy. Heavy what? What do you think? Here you could use colors, you could use materials, you could use sensations. So I'm using the sensation of it being heavy, and we can add color, why not? The heavy brown door flung open. That's the type of door that I can see. That's the type of door that I want my readers to see. Can you think of other types of doors? Can you create other sentences for doors? Write them down on your notebook. What about here? He was delighted to take his bike to Father Trevor. That's a nice sentence, and if I were you, I would definitely write this one down so you can use in your writing. He was delighted. That's a key word. He was delighted to take his bike. But bike is a noun here, and bike is a main thing of this of our retell. So we want to make sure that our reader can see this bike as vivid as possible. So how can we describe this bike? What is it made of? What color is it? How big is it? His what bike? We need 2 adjectives here for a bike. What can we use? We can use the colors: black, white fender, a silver streamline. Good. All of these are good. It's a new bike. Yes. Big bike, small bike, huge, marvelous, wonderful. What qualities does it have? We can go for iron. Oops, I misspelled iron. To take his iron. No, I don't like iron. Let's go for black new bike to Father Trevor. He was delighted to take his black new bike to Father Trevor. So that makes a 2-way sentence, and that gives you more detail about what the bike looks like. So can you see here? We are giving a lot of detail about a morning, and details about the door, and details about the bike. All of these things are very important to where this scene is happening, where the story is happening. what is happening in the story. So let's have a look over here. We are today we are writing the first paragraph of our retell, and we are looking at here. We're looking at the setting description. So we're basically looking. Oops, sorry, didn't want to do that. I want to make that bigger. Okay. Although this picture is from the end of the book, it does show us the the houses. And I like to call them terracotta houses. It shows you the type of doors that you have there. And it also shows you the road. Can you see the road? It's not a concrete road. There's some trees. And I thought that the sky is nice as well. I mean, the sky is not the end of the day sky, it's the morning. So the beginning of the story is about the morning. The morning sky will be maybe more blue like this, more clear like this. Yes, but we're describing the houses, the road, the sky. Also, a little bit of Desmond coming out was happening there, okay? So in here, what we're really looking for, we're looking at this part of our writing today, the first part, okay? So let's have a look at the words that are going to be useful to do the setting description. We are talking about, what are we talking about, miss? We are talking about the time of the day that this is happening and what does it look like around you. So we may use words like fresh, dusty, quiet, terracotta houses. Remember, here we're describing the doors, the windows, the quietness of the road because nobody's up yet, it's very early. The color of the sky, the smell of the air, the dust on the road. What's happening? What does it look like? So you're using lots of your 5 senses to describe this place. And a sentence that might come in handy would be that one. A shiny black bike emerged into the red dirt road. So the red dirt road is describing what type of road it is and what's out there in the road. Okay, can we think of some more? Let's have a closer look at what it might look like. So here are the pictures. Use your notepad to write down as many sentences, words, phrases to annotate these pictures about what this setting is looking like. What is this place looking like? This is the first paragraph, the setting description. Great. So if you added some of your ideas, let's see what else can I contribute. So at this point we will be working on our A3 sheets. We can't do it because we're not together in school, but let's see what else I can contribute to your writing. So we are talking about early morning. We could be talking about birds singing sweet melodies. Yes, the birds in the early morning. We could use that in a sentence. We could talk about the silence. Silence only broken by the excitement of one boy. Which boy are we talking about? Desmond, of course. Well done. We're talking about the empty roads. So I can say the roads were empty, or I could use that sentence to show that it's empty because it's silent. Silence only broken by the excitement of one boy. It's the only boy in the roads. Terracotta houses. How can you describe those houses? Heavy wooden doors. The first glimpses of sunshine. There you go. So it's very early. The sun is just rising. So here are some ideas. These are phrases that you can transform into sentences. What type of sentences? Two-way sentences. All sorts of sentences, but two-way sentences are our focus and our success criteria for today. So make sure you annotate the ones that you would like to use. Add to the ones that you already have. And let's have a look at how you're going to build your task for today. So this is your to-do. This is what it's looking like today. Here, let me just point that out for you. So in here, it says first paragraph, setting description, and two-way sentences. This is something that you may just erase once you start writing because you don't need that. This is just to remind you of what is it that you're writing here. Okay, so in there, it's a paragraph, not a sentence, not a list of sentences. You're writing a paragraph. So that means that you're going to give me more than 3 sentences. Okay, so this is going to be your first paragraph. You're going to start and end your sentences correctly, which means with a capital letter and a full stop. You will use your key vocabulary, and you have used your two-way sentences Remember that after you write it, you check your work. That means you read it out loud, check for your spellings, your punctuation, your capital letters and your full stops. Make sure that each sentence is making sense. Looking forward to read that and see you tomorrow.